guy. You've been hearing lots about him over the past year or so. Definitely one of the new kids on the block as regards the rallying scene, and of course that is Craig Breen. Craig, you've just come back from the UK. It's great to have you in with us. I believe it's a lot better over there in parts, is it, than what we have here?
Yeah, usually the UK is hit by more extreme weather conditions, but it was a surprise really. The travel down from Cumbria was quite pleasant. There wasn't that much snow when I crossed the sea. It got a little bit hairy then. The snow was dramatic, and I'm a bit sorry that I missed out on all of it. It looked like good fun, and it's all starting to disappear now.
Oh no, it wasn't, Craig. It wasn't good fun, believe me.
I suppose we've been following your progress all season. Trevor McGrath, of course, has been keeping us updated from week to week. Basically, I suppose, is it fair to say you've been kind of splitting your time between here at home and also in the UK? Yeah,
obviously last year we won an apprenticeship, a kind of apprentice style competition in the UK, and I won a year's work experience at M Sport, which are the people behind the Ford World Rally team. So I've been spending probably, I would say 50-50 between here and over there this year. My own rally schedule has been fairly hectic, so I'm having to split the time down the middle really. Sometimes it was just logistically costing too much to get over and back to M Sport, where it was more cost effective to just keep myself at home, and I was able to train and go test and so on and so forth. So it's been a fairly hectic year, and I'm looking forward to a couple of weeks off now over the winter.
And you had a big finish to the season, I think, going back 2 or 3 weeks. You had a big your highest placing in a World Rally event.
Yeah, Wales Rally GB was really good to us. Started off fairly miserable with a puncture early on, but we kept the spirits quite high and pushed on for the remainder of the weekend, and we were 12th overall, and we finished second in the SWRC, which is some of the top drivers in the world. Well, the top drivers in the world in my class of car. So I was pretty pleased to be mixing it with all of them at such an early stage.
And a new signing as well on board for next season. Talk us about the man who's joining the team.
Yeah, we took part in another shootout. It was based over two separate events. The first one was a qualifying event in Sweden, in Hasselholm, the Snap-on Rally, and we qualified there along with a guy from Sweden, and that put us through. That we were the European representatives for the World Final, which was held in Salou in Spain in late August, I think. And yeah, we were selected out of, I think there was 16 guys at the final. There was 6 people chosen to go and do 6 rounds of the World Championship next year. It's this new FIA World Academy for young drivers. It's basically the stepping stone into the Sebastian Loeb sort of World Championship scene. So I'm really pleased. The prize is worth about €150,000 in total. So it's basically arrive and drive package for me. There's going to be a car sitting there ready for me to drive, and I'm not going to have to pay anything, which is always a good thing.
How bad?
And Mike Broad is coming in, and it's a fantastic move for you.
Yeah, obviously Mike is a legend in British rallying and even world rallying in terms, and I've gotten on really well with him over the last sort of year or two since I've started rallying, and always kept in good touch with him, and it seemed the obvious move to get him on board. He has a lot of contacts. He's quite a shrewd guy. Just a lot of attention to detail, and he's a good guy to have on board. My dad has been very good, managing everything, and he's trying to keep everything afloat. But unfortunately, he's got his own business to look after, and especially in the current economic climate, it's very difficult for him to try and paddle two canoes.
And he got the whole blessing of your dad, Ray and Indy. Mike, he's absolutely thrilled that he's on board.
Yeah, it's taken a lot of weight off of his shoulders. Dad has built up a good list of contacts he can call upon, but Mike, I think it would take a long time to catch up on how many people he's got to know over the years. So it's a credit to Mike, who's going to get us involved with next year.
The top finisher, you were on the podium up in Galway. Was that one of the highlights, say, from the scene here at home over the past 12 months?
Yeah, Galway was a big event. First time in a 4-wheel drive car, or on tarmac in a 4-wheel drive car. And first S1000 car in the country, and it was a lot of pressure, but I tried to take the schoolboy approach and just said I wanted to go and drive really fast and see how it went, and it was a good strategy. It was a tricky event, but a lot of people fell by the wayside, and we ended up finishing second, and I thought it was going to set up a fantastic year for us, really, and unfortunately from there on, as I said earlier, it just fell apart there, and everything just started to go against me, but we picked it up at the end of the year, and we're back on form again.
Yeah,
it really is a vicious sport. I don't mean, the thin line between success and failure, if you want to put it that way, it's so incredibly thin, isn't it, Greg?
Yeah, I suppose with many other sports, it's man-powered. Everything is man-powered, but unfortunately, in motorsport, you've got a machine that has to keep on your side as well, which is difficult at times. Especially the fact that my car was a new car for this year. The Fiesta S1000 was only launched in January in Monte Carlo, so I was one of the first guys to drive the car, and obviously had to iron out a couple of the problems. So, but it's as I said, it's part and parcel of motorsport. You need to take that on board when stuff like that happens. You just need to pick yourself back up again and move on.
Did you miss home at all when you were saying you were splitting a lot of the time between here and overseas? And obviously, I suppose there's the usual pitfalls as well, and what have you. Yeah,
obviously, no mommy's cooking. It's a big thing, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't homesick when I was over there. It's a lonely place at times, especially when I had such bad luck in rallies, and travel back over on Monday and sit there and you get time to dwell on everything. It's when you're at home and you're with your own family, you can kind of offload some of the disappointment onto people. But when you're on your own and you have to dwell on everything, and it can be very hard hitting. But again, as I said, just had to pick yourself up and move on.
Have you got a while off now, Craig, to just chill out a bit?
Yeah, we've put together a deal to go to Sweden in February for a snow rally. So good practice this week. So
come out to do more.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to go to Sweden. We'll test for about 2 or 3 days in Norway before the event. So that's the last week in January, moving into the first week in February. So that's. I'm trying to think it's a good while away. It's probably not realistically that far away, but I'm trying to just relax over Christmas but still keep training quite hard, because it's going to be quite a demanding event.
And are you determined now that this is going to be the next maybe 10, 15, maybe 20 years of your life? You're going to be full time at the rallying?
Yeah, I wouldn't be putting in as much effort as I am if I didn't think it would be possible, and I think the people around me wouldn't be putting in as much of an effort if they didn't think so also. So yeah, it's what I want to do. It's a strange career for many people. I think there's maybe 2 or 3 people in Ireland that would want to pursue a career in well, not want, but are on the way to pursuing a career in motorsport. So it's a difficult time to do it for sure. It's probably the worst time possible I could go about doing it, but I'm focused on what I want to do, and I'm not going to give up until I do it.
Yeah, and like any sports person now, would you have to watch your diet and be disciplined, or would you have to do so many sessions in the gym by week?
Yeah, I travel to my fitness trainers in the UK. I try to go over there once a month, depending on how rallies are fitting in and so on and so forth. But I suppose I'd be lying if I said I wasn't fond of my old Johnny Walker's chips or something like that. But no, I suppose you have to look after it all, and especially when you're on the events, you have to be just very careful of what you're taking in, and taking in the right amount of each.
Yeah, because you're a slightly built man, aren't you? Really, you're not a heavy man by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, I suppose weight doesn't really come into it too much in rallying. And to be honest with you, strength isn't a big thing, nor is fitness in itself, but it's mental fitness is the biggest thing in rallying, and it's something that I've found quite hard to get on board, moving from karting, which is quite a physically demanding sport, as in physically demanding on your muscle groups and especially upper body. But rallying is just so mentally, it's
So the minute you get behind a wheel, like, you just everything else is blocked out.
Yeah,
simply,
it's just so tense, and you'd end up with getting migraines and pains in the head. That's how hard you're having to concentrate. And I suppose in circuit racing, the fear factor, in inverted commas, is not as much, and you try not to think of it as much because you've got a safe enough environment around you. But when you're rallying, especially places like Finland, where the average speed is sort of up around 100 miles an hour, and you know damn right if anything does go wrong, it's going to be an airplane crash. It's going to be big, and the possibility of getting injured is quite high. So to try and push that out of your mind is just very mentally straining, and I think that's the biggest thing that you need to train for, and it's quite a shock when it does happen.
Well, we hope you'll enjoy the couple of weeks off, and you're gearing up for next season. I know there's huge interest in it around the county, Craig. For people who want to follow you now, say in 2011, there's a website, isn't there? They can keep an eye on your progress and all the various events that are coming up. Yeah,
I've got my own website. It's craigbreen.com, and there's a Twitter feed on there. I tweet away on my iPhone when I'm doing events, and I have my own blog. And there's a supporters club also, run by some very good people around me. They also have a website. I think it's cbrsupportersclub.com. and there's a registration fee, and there's a text message server sent out during each event. And they also run raffles, and we're having a do over Christmas in the Glen as well, I think. So there's a lot of people around me and a lot of pressure, but no, it's very good.
Including Trevor McGrath. He's been some stalwart to you, hasn't he, down through the years?
Yeah, I suppose we'll have to give Trevor a plug, to be fair to him. He's a fantastic guy.
Is he a tweeter?
He is a tweeter, yeah. No, he's, in fairness, he's 100% behind me, and he's one of the people that I mentioned that are very much committed to my future and my success. So he's a very good guy, and always keeping people informed. And you'd be surprised, even people like yourself, that how much he's keeping them updated. It's a credit to him. PR is massive.
No, he's massive. Yeah,
bigger than most other sports, in fact. So
he's a fantastic guy, Trevor. Yeah.
Lovely stuff indeed. I think just before we take our ad break, Matt, will we bring the curtain down on the badge giveaway for tomorrow?
Yeah, the lucky winner who can actually look forward to 2011, because he'll be at 11 race meetings out there. Martin Walker, Smarts Castle in Ferrybank. So Martin Walker in